My Aunt Patricia's mouth stopped mid-sentence. She was at brunch with my mother. Mimosas. Overpriced eggs. The kind of place they went to feel important. And there, on the TV mounted above the bar, my face filled the screen. Tech innovator Elena Hartley named Forbes 30 under 30. Mom's coffee cup rattled against the saucer. Patricia's hand froze halfway to her purse. The waiter asked if they wanted more bread. Neither of them answered. They just stared at the screen as the news anchor listed my accomplishments, my company's valuation, the acquisition deal I'd closed last quarter. Patricia's lips moved, but no sound came out. 3 months earlier, at a family barbecue, Patricia had done something I'd never forget. I'd arrived late, traffic. I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Nothing fancy. It was a backyard cookout, not a gala. Patricia took one look at me and her face twisted. "Elena!" she called out. Loud. Everyone turned. Uncles, cousins, neighbors. "My God, what are you wearing?" I glanced down at my outfit. "It's just a barbecue. You look like a hog." She laughed. Sharp. Cruel. "Seriously, honey, have you looked in a mirror? That shirt is doing you no favors." The conversations around us died. People pretended to focus on their plates, but I felt their eyes. My mother stood nearby, said nothing. "I mean, I know you're busy with your little computer thing," Patricia continued, circling me like a predator. "But there's no excuse for letting yourself go like this. Look at Amber. She always makes an effort." Amber stood across the yard. Sundress, perfect hair. She looked away when I met her eyes. "Patricia, I'm fine," I said quietly. "Fine? You're embarrassing yourself." Her voice rose. "Do you know what people think when they see you like this? They think we don't care about you, that we let you walk around looking like what?" I asked. "Like you've given up, like you don't respect yourself, or this family." She straightened, crossing her arms. "You need to do better, Elena. For your own sake." My hands curled into fists at my sides. Heat crawled up my neck, but I didn't respond, didn't defend myself, didn't fight back. I just stood there, let her words land, let everyone watch. Then I walked to the food table, filled a plate, and sat alone at the edge of the yard. Patricia went back to her conversation, laughing with my mother like nothing had happened. I ate my burger in silence, tasting nothing, feeling everything. And I made a decision. I wasn't going to tell them. Not yet. Not about the Series B funding that had just closed. Not about the Forbes interview I'd done 2 weeks earlier. Not about the company that was about to make me a millionaire. I was going to let Patricia keep believing I was small, sloppy, a hog. And then, when my name hit the news, I'd watch her face crumble. 3 months later, sitting in that brunch restaurant, staring at my face on the TV screen, Patricia finally understood what she'd missed. But by then, it was too late. Before I tell you how the family that humiliated me became the family that needed me, hit like and drop a comment. Have you ever been torn down by people who should have lifted you up? Let me know. My name is Elena Hartley. I'm 28. And this is the story of how I went from family punching bag to front page news while they watched from the sidelines. I grew up in the shadow of perfection. Her name was Amber. Amber was my cousin, Patricia's daughter, 3 years older than me, blonde, confident, the kind of girl who walked into a room and people just assumed she belonged there. She was the family star, pageant winner at 16, sorority president in college, engaged to a lawyer by 25. Every family gathering was a celebration of Amber's latest achievement. Me? I was the quiet one, the one who spent holidays with a book instead of at the adults' table, the one who went to state school on scholarships while Amber got a brand new car for her private university. But I wasn't just ignored. I was Patricia's target. Every time I showed up, she found something wrong. My hair, my clothes, my weight, my career. "Elena, are you still at that startup?" She'd ask at Christmas dinner, her voice dripping with concern. "Don't they have dress codes?" "You look like you just rolled out of bed." The table would go quiet. Forks would pause midair. My mother would laugh nervously. "Patricia, she's fine. I'm just saying." Amber always looks put together. It's about self-respect. Patricia would turn to Amber, smiling. "Tell Elena about your promotion, sweetheart." And just like that, the conversation would shift. Amber would talk. Patricia would beam. And I would disappear. It wasn't just the comments. It was the way she said them. Loud. Public. Like she wanted everyone to witness my failures. At Amber's graduation party, Patricia had pulled me aside in front of a group of relatives. "Elena, honey, have you thought about trying a diet? I know a great program." Amber used it before her pageants. I'd smiled. "I'm good, thanks. Are you, though?" She'd grabbed my arm, squeezed. "Because you're a beautiful girl under all this. You just need to try." Aunt Linda had looked away. Uncle Mark had suddenly needed another beer. Nobody defended me. After college, I took a job as a junior developer at a startup. The pay was terrible. The hours were brutal. I lived in a studio apartment where the shower leaked and the heating didn't work half the winter. But I was learning, building, creating something. Patricia didn't see it that way. "Still at that computer place?" She'd ask every Thanksgiving. "When are you going to get a real job? Something stable, like Amber." Amber, meanwhile, moved into a downtown loft her parents helped furnish. She posted photos constantly, brunches, yoga classes, weekend trips to wine country. At family dinners, Patricia would pull out her phone. "Amber just got promoted to senior account manager. Isn't that wonderful?" "That's great," I'd say. Then Patricia would turn to me. "And you're still coding?" "Yes." She'd sip her wine. "Well, not everyone can be successful, I suppose." My mother never corrected her, never stood up for me. She'd just changed the subject. I learned to expect it. The insults, the comparisons, the public humiliation disguised as concern. But the barbecue incident was different. That was the moment something inside me broke. When Patricia called me a hog in front of everyone, when she circled me like prey, when she made it clear that to her, I wasn't just a failure, I was an embarrassment. And when I sat alone at that picnic table, eating my burger while my family laughed across the yard, I made a promise to myself. I would succeed so loudly, so undeniably, that Patricia would choke on her own words. I wasn't going to tell her. I was going to show her. On national television. The barbecue happened on a Saturday in July, 3 months before my world changed. I'd been working 18-hour days. My Series B funding was in final negotiations. $18 million hung in the balance. I was exhausted, stressed, running on coffee and adrenaline. But it was my uncle's birthday. Family tradition. I had to go. I threw on jeans and a comfortable t-shirt, drove 40 minutes to his house, parked on the street because the driveway was already full of cars. The backyard was packed. Music, laughter, the smell of burgers on the grill. Patricia saw me first. "Elena!" Her voice cut through the crowd. "My God, what are you wearing?" Heads turned. Conversations paused. I looked down at my outfit. "It's just a barbecue." "You look like a hog." The words hit like a slap. The yard went quiet. She laughed, but her eyes were cold. Seriously, honey, have you looked in a mirror? That shirt is doing you no favors. I felt my face heat, my throat tighten. I mean, I know you're busy with your little computer thing, she continued, louder now, making sure everyone heard. But there's no excuse for letting yourself go like this. Look at Amber. She always makes an effort. Amber stood by the pool. Perfect sundress, perfect hair. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Patricia, I'm fine, I said quietly. Fine. She stepped closer, circled me. You're embarrassing yourself. Do you know what people think when they see you like this? They think we don't care about you, that we let you walk around looking like what? My voice came out flat, empty, like you've given up. She crossed her arms, like you don't respect yourself or this family. You need to do better, Elena, for your own sake. I wanted to scream, to tell her about the funding round, about the Forbes interview I'd done 2 weeks earlier, about the company I'd built from nothing. But I didn't, because I looked around that yard, at my mother standing by the dessert table saying nothing, at my uncles suddenly fascinated by their beers, at my cousins pretending to check their phones. Nobody defended me. Nobody told Patricia to stop. They just let it happen. So I smiled. I'll keep that in mind. I walked to the food table, filled a plate, found a chair at the edge of the yard, far from everyone else, and I ate in silence. I could hear them. Patricia's voice carrying across the lawn, laughing with my mother, asking Amber about her latest vacation, the party continuing like nothing had happened, like I didn't matter. I pulled out my phone, checked my email, and there it was. Subject line, Series B, we're in. $18 million approved. I read it 3 times. My hands didn't shake. My face didn't change. I just put my phone away, finished my burger, and thought about the future, about Forbes, about going public, about my face on TV screens across the country, and about Patricia, sitting in a restaurant, frozen, unable to speak. I smiled for the first time that day. A week later, the Forbes team came to interview me. They asked about my journey, my challenges, my vision. What drives you? The interviewer asked. I thought about Patricia, about the word hog, about sitting alone at that barbecue while my family laughed. Being underestimated, I said. People see a young woman in tech and assume she's not serious. They think she's playing. They don't take her seriously until she's already won. And when they realize their mistake, I smiled. By then it's too late. The segment was scheduled to air in 2 months. I didn't tell anyone. Not my mother, not Patricia, not Amber. I just waited. And when my name hit the news, I wanted to be the last person they expected to see. The next 6 months were a blur. I hired a team, expanded our product line, signed contracts with 3 Fortune 500 companies. My days started at 6 a.m. and ended past midnight. I didn't go to family dinners, didn't return calls. When my mother texted asking if I was okay, I sent back, busy with work. I'm fine. She didn't ask follow-up questions. Meanwhile, Amber's wedding planning consumed the family. Every Sunday there were updates, dress fittings, venue tours, debates about floral arrangements. I wasn't asked to be a bridesmaid. I was invited to the wedding, of course, but I wasn't in the inner circle. I wasn't part of the story. That was fine. I was writing my own. One afternoon, my publicist called. Elena, Forbes wants to feature you in their 30 under 30 issue. Tech category. I paused. When does it publish? Next month. They'll also do a video segment. It'll be everywhere. I thought about the timing. Amber's wedding was in 2 months. Let's do it, I said. The Forbes team came to my office. filmed me talking about my company's growth, asked about my vision for the future, took photos of me in front of our logo. The interviewer asked, "What's the hardest part of building a company at your age?" I thought about Patricia's words. She thinks she's hot stuff. "The hardest part," I said, "is being underestimated. People see a young woman in tech and assume she's an assistant or a diversity hire. They don't take you seriously until you're already too big to ignore. And when they finally notice," I smiled, "by then it's too late to catch up." The segment aired on a Tuesday morning. National news, my name, my face, my story. Within an hour, my phone exploded. Congratulations from investors, interview requests. People I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly remembered I existed. But the messages I was waiting for didn't come. Not from my mother, not from Patricia, not from Amber. They hadn't seen it yet. That evening, I got a text from a friend who still lived in my hometown. "Holy shit, Elena, you're on TV. Your family must be so proud." I didn't respond. The next day, my mother called. I let it go to voicemail. Her message was short. "Elena, honey, call me. I saw the news. We need to talk." I deleted it. 2 days later, Patricia sent an email. Subject, "Congratulations." Body, "Elena, I had no idea you were doing so well. We're all so proud of you. Let's get together soon and celebrate. Love, Aunt Patricia." I read it twice, then archived it. Amber sent nothing, but I saw her Instagram story, a photo of a magazine, Forbes, my face on the cover, caption, "So proud of my cousin." No mention of the whispers, no acknowledgement of the years she'd looked past me, just a story for her followers. I laughed, alone in my office, soft, tired, and then I got back to work. Amber's wedding was 2 weeks away. I hadn't RSVP'd yet. The invitation sat on my kitchen counter, unopened. My mother called again. This time, I answered. "Elena, where have you been?" Her voice was tight, anxious. "Working," I said. "You didn't tell us about Forbes, about your company, about any of it. You didn't ask?" Silence. "Honey, we're family. Of course we care. We didn't realize that I was successful. That's not fair, isn't it?" I kept my voice even, calm. "For 10 years, you and Patricia treated me like I was nothing. Patricia called me a hog at Uncle Dave's barbecue in front of everyone, and you said nothing. Elena, you stood there, Mom. You watched her humiliate me, watched her circle me like I was something to be ashamed of, and you didn't say a word." Her breath caught. "I should have stopped her. I know that now. But you didn't. I thought she was just trying to help. In her way." I laughed, cold. "By calling me a hog?" "She was jealous," Mom said quietly. "Of you." That stopped me. "What?" "Patricia's been jealous of you for years. You're smart, independent, you built something real. Amber's just surface, pretty pictures and borrowed money. Patricia knows that. Deep down, she knows Amber will never have what you have. So she tore you down instead. And you let her." "I did." Her voice cracked. "I'm sorry. I should have protected you. I should have believed in you. And I didn't." I closed my eyes. "What do you want from me, Mom? I want you to come to the wedding. Please." "Patricia wants to apologize. She's mortified, Elena. She saw you on TV and she couldn't stop crying." "Good." "Elena." She called me a hog, Mom. She did it publicly, loudly, to humiliate me. And now she's mortified because it turns out I was successful? That's not remorse. That's embarrassment." "I know. But she wants to make it right." "I'll come," I said. "But not for her. For you." "Thank you," she whispered. I hung up. The wedding was beautiful. Country club, white roses, a string quartet. I wore a navy designer dress, fitted, elegant, my hair professionally styled, makeup flawless. I looked nothing like the woman Patricia had called a hog 3 months ago. I arrived alone. Heads turned when I walked in. Patricia saw me first. She rushed over, her smile brittle, desperate. "Elena! Oh my God, you look stunning." "Thank you," I said. "We need to talk." "I need to—" She grabbed my arm. "I'm so sorry." About what I said at the barbecue, I was completely out of line. I was just jealous, I said. She blinked. "That's what Mom said. You were jealous. Of me." Patricia's face flushed. I was having a bad day and I took it out on you, and that was wrong. "You called me a hog," I said, keeping my voice low, controlled. "In front of my entire family." "You mocked my appearance, my career, my life, because you couldn't stand that I was doing better than Amber." "That's not—" "Yes, it is." I pulled my arm free. "And now that I'm successful enough to make the news, suddenly you want to apologize. Not because you hurt me, but because you look bad." Her mouth opened, closed. "Enjoy the wedding, Patricia." I walked past her. I found my seat, far from the family table. I watched the ceremony, watched Amber walk down the aisle, watched her and Brandon exchange vows. At the reception, Amber found me by the bar. "Elena," she said, her voice careful, "I'm glad you came." "Congratulations," I said. "I saw the Forbes thing. That's incredible. Really. Thanks." She shifted her weight. "I know my mom can be a lot. What she said at the barbecue, that was awful." "Yeah, it was. I should have said something. I should have defended you." "Yeah," I said. "You should have." She flinched. "But you didn't," I continued. "Because it was easier to stand there looking pretty than to stand up for your cousin. That's not fair. Neither was calling me a hog." I set my drink down. "But here we are." "I didn't call you that. My mom did. And you said nothing." "Which is the same thing." Her jaw tightened. "What do you want from me? An apology? Fine. I'm sorry. I should have been better. Is that what you need to hear?" "I don't need anything from you, Amber." I picked up my purse. "I just wanted you to know that while you were posing for Instagram, I was building an empire. And while your mom was calling me a hog, I was closing deals worth more than this entire wedding. So enjoy your day. You earned it." I walked away, found my mother near the dance floor. "I'm leaving," I told her. "Already?" "I came. That's what you asked." She touched my arm. "Elena, please. Patricia really is sorry." "She's sorry she got caught," I corrected. "There's a difference." "What do you want from us?" she asked. I looked at her. Really looked. At the woman who'd raised me, who'd loved me, but who'd never quite protected me. "I want you to understand something," I said quietly. When Patricia called me a hog, I was 2 weeks away from closing an $18 million funding round. I was building something that would change my entire life. And instead of asking me how I was doing or what I was working on, you stood there and let her humiliate me. I know. And now that I'm successful, now that my face is on TV, suddenly everyone cares. Everyone's proud. Everyone wants to celebrate." I shook my head. "But I didn't build my company to prove Patricia wrong. I built it because I loved the work. And I didn't tell you about it because I knew you wouldn't understand until it was too big to ignore." "I'm trying to understand now," she said. "I know. But it's too late to be part of the beginning. You only showed up for the victory lap." I kissed her cheek, then left. 6 months later, my company went public. The IPO was a success. My net worth hit 8 figures. Articles called me a disruptor. Invitations poured in for conferences, panels, speaking engagements. My mother sent flowers. The card read, "We're proud of you." Always have been. I put them in a vase, didn't call. Patricia sent a LinkedIn request. I ignored it. Amber messaged me on Instagram, "Hey, long time. We should grab coffee sometime." I didn't respond. Not out of spite, just indifference. They'd missed the hard part, the late nights, the failures, the years I spent building something from nothing while they called me a hog and laughed at my ambitions. They only showed up for the victory lap. And that's fine. I didn't need them anymore. One evening, I was at a gala, tech industry event, open bar, networking. I ran into an old college acquaintance. She'd seen the Forbes cover. "Your family must be so proud," she said. I smiled, sipped my champagne. "They are now." Now? They didn't think I'd make it. Thought I was wasting my time. My aunt once called me a hog at a family barbecue, in front of everyone. Her eyes widened. "Are you serious?" Dead serious. She said I looked like I'd let myself go, that I was embarrassing the family. I looked around the room, at the people who'd believed in me, invested in me, supported me. 3 months later, my face was on national news. She couldn't even speak when she saw it. "What did you say to her?" "At the wedding?" "I told her she wasn't sorry for hurting me. She was just embarrassed she got caught being wrong." She raised her glass. "To proving them wrong." "To proving myself right," I corrected. We clinked glasses. I don't know if my family ever truly understood what they missed. Maybe they still think I just got lucky. Maybe they still believe Amber's Instagram version of our relationship. Maybe Patricia still tells herself she was just having a bad day at that barbecue, that she didn't mean what she said. But here's what I know. When you build something real, you don't need validation from people who called you a hog when you were struggling. You don't need their pride, their congratulations, their sudden interest. You don't need them to rewrite history and pretend they always believed in you. You just need your work. And the people who saw your worth before your name hit the news. 3 months ago, I got invited to speak at a tech conference. Keynote speaker, 1,000-person audience. Amber posted about it on Instagram. "So proud of my brilliant cousin." Always knew she'd make it. I saw the post, didn't like it, didn't comment. Because the truth is, she didn't always know. None of them did. When I was sitting alone at that barbecue, eating my burger while Patricia called me a hog, Amber was on the other side of the yard, laughing, not defending me, not caring. And that's okay. I've made peace with it. I've learned that family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up when you're building, who believes in you when you're struggling, who defends you when you're attacked. And the people I call family now, they're not the ones who raised me. They're the ones who built with me. If you've ever been called names by people who should have lifted you up, drop a comment. Tell me your story. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Because the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's becoming so successful that when they finally apologize, you realize you don't need it anymore. Patricia did apologize, eventually. Long email. Paragraphs of regret. Explanations about jealousy and stress and not being herself that day. I read it once, then deleted it. Not because I'm cruel, but because I realized something. Her opinion of me, good or bad, no longer matters. And that's the real victory.